What is up everyone? On this video I'll be showing you things that I picked up or collected in the last several months to a year. It's been a very long time since I've done one of these videos. The last one I did was probably 8 years, going on over 8 years since I did a pickups video. It's something that I've kind of thought I should get back into, try and keep up on top of things with stuff that I collect and show you guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you what I picked up and sort of what my thoughts are if I played it or not. So let's start off with Xbox One. Xbox One software, actual physical Xbox One games, because eventually they're going to phase these out considering Microsoft going downhill with the Xbox route. And the first game is Diablo 4 and I completed the campaign on this. I did have fun at the start, but then after a while it got a bit grindy and I haven't played it since the last update, or the last big update, which apparently changed a lot of things. It's more fun to play, so I definitely need to update this and give this another go. But yeah, this was fun when this came out, and then it got a bit grindy, collecting things that didn't really matter. The next game is Black Sand on the Xbox One, and this is the limited edition version, which comes with a one of those, what are they called, polarized pictures, and a collection of cards. I haven't opened these, I probably won't open these, keep it sealed. And this game looks kind of fun, a detective sort of game, a noir type of game maybe. I get very LA Noire vibes when I see gameplay of this. I've not tried this yet and I do plan to play this, so let me know if you've played this before down in the comments if it's worth a shot. This was on Game Pass a while ago, but then they removed it and I haven't seen it back on Game Pass. So I picked this up for pretty cheap. You can probably pick this up yourself for pretty cheap if you like sort of detective games, Sherlock Holmes style. Next up we have Constructor, and this is a HD remake. I've actually had this for a while. This is a complete remake of the original Constructor on the PlayStation, which I remember getting that game when it came with a Constructor memory card originally, and I had a lot of fun with this game. It is hard. It's a RTS type of building simulation game, SimCity with bad attitude. And this was pretty cheap as well. You kind of manage like council estates and stuff and try and make your own little town while capturing the other player's town. Next up is Star Ocean, the Divine Force, and this was a Christmas gift from my partner, and I have played a bit of this, probably about less than 20 hours in, and I'm enjoying this game. I am a fan of the old Star Ocean games, and this one, the combat is quite hectic, and there's very big open world maps. I don't know how long this game is, but normally Star Ocean games are quite long. And there is another Star Ocean game that I do want to try, which is the 8-bit version. I can't remember what it's called, but I highly recommend Star Ocean Divine Force if you do like your JRPGs. This one so far is fun to play. Next up we have Dragon Ball The Breakers Special Edition, and this game seems to be pretty dead on the Xbox. Now, I tried to join a few games like a few weeks ago, could not find enough players to play this, which is so unfortunate. I did have fun with this kind of Dead by Daylight horror isometrical survivor game. There's like a ton of items and forms that you can choose. It's just a shame that this didn't really kick off. People were speculating if this is going to be a fail anyway, just because the gameplay itself is kind of dated. It kind of plays like a older generation, but this is fun if you're a Dragon Ball fan and if you do like sort of the hide and seek sort of gameplay. I do recommend this. I didn't play any of the bad guys on this. I only played the survivor side of this. I think people still play this. They probably do like private rooms, but it seems more active on PC and PlayStation than the Xbox. You can pick this up for pretty cheap, but you'll be lucky to find a game. Maybe they'll do a massive update and they will bring back people that used to play this. But that's Dragon Ball: The Breakers. I think that's it for the Xbox One games. Next we're going to PlayStation 4 games. A new Gundam Breaker. Never played this before. It looked fun. This was super cheap. This is basically miniature Gundam. I think this has been out for a while, maybe a few years. We basically miniature Gundams fighting in stores and people's rooms by the looks of it. Seems like a fun game. I definitely will check this out. Next we have Dreams for the PS4. Now I got this because, again, I found this for cheap. This was on PlayStation Plus, which is why this dropped down in price. And there's a game that I've always wanted to try because you can make your own sort of game within the game, made by the same people who did Little Big Planet, so you can imagine the stuff that you can do on this game. And I've watched some YouTubers, Vinesource mainly, try all these different weird levels that people have made, and it's surprising how a lot of people can get away with some of the copyright stuff, like the music and sort of Nintendo assets. So if you haven't tried this game, if you don't know what this is about, this is basically a big old sandbox game, which I find really cool. Apparently the PS5 version plays a lot smoother, it's 60 FPS I think, and I can't wait to try this. Try and download people's levels and stuff, because I've seen so much creativity on this game, it's crazy. Next up we have Cobra Kai, and this was a Christmas present, and me and my partner are playing this. We haven't completed this yet, and it's basically your kind of like Streets of Rage but 3D, and you can level up your character for your old school beat 'em up games. This game is actually cool, definitely a cool two-player game. You can do couch co-op. I recommend it even though it gets a bit repetitive and some of the levels are quite long, but it is fun for, you know, a modern beat 'em up game. If you can find this for pretty cheap, and if you have someone else to play with and you like Streets of Rage, then give Cobra Kai a go. This is the first of the series. Next up we have After Defense Force 4.1. And I got this because, again, super cheap. I have played this before. I mean, most of these are very similar in gameplay and what you do. This is quite early for the PS4 release, I think. This one has been around for a while. It doesn't say what year. 2016, I think. And After Defense Force, yeah, if you haven't played any of these, it's basically kind of like Starship Troopers on steroids, and they're fun sandboxy games where you just kill hordes of ants or aliens and bugs and stuff, and you can destroy buildings and choose different classes, level up classes and their weapons. A ton of stuff to do, and again, couch co-op with 2 players, which is another reason why I purchased this, and also to add to the EDF collection. I do want to get more EDF games in the future, but sometimes they're kind of hard to find. Next up is Code Vein, which is another Bandai Namco game. Seem to be collecting a lot of Bandai Namco games. This is basically a very easy version of a Dark Souls game, if I can kind of describe what kind of game this is. It's a Souls-like game where you can have a AI player to follow you around and help you, so you can choose a partner on this game. This is like an entry-level Soulsy game. If you never played a Dark Souls, Demon Souls game, you can try this out. It is still hard, even though you have an AI with you. Having completed this probably about quarter way through. This was on the PlayStation Plus network, I believe, but I wanted the physical anyway because this is another cheap pickup. That's Code Vein. That's pretty much all the PS4 games so far. Let's go for the PS3 games I picked up. Hunted, the Demon Forge, This is actually a Bethesda game, and it's more of an actiony Bethesda game than an RPG. This supports split screen co-op, which I remember playing this. One of my friends had one of these and he brought it round to do co-op, and this is actually pretty fun. I did enjoy this. I haven't played much, I only did like 1 or 2 levels, so this is one that I want to play with my partner and basically complete the campaign. From what I can remember, this has like Army of Two vibes to it, but it is set sort of medieval times. If you're looking for, again, another couch co-op game, this is one to recommend. Here we have Untold Legends Dark Kingdom, and I believe this is a very early PS3 launch game. On the back it says one of the most fun online multiplayer games available at PS3's launch. So this game supports couch co-op, and it's also kind of like a 3D Gauntlet style gameplay. I've not actually tried this myself, and the main reason why I purchased this, again, like all the others, it was super cheap. And you know, couch co-op, you can never be bored of couch co-op, and it's something that modern games don't do. And I'm trying to collect a lot of these cheaper couch co-op PS3 games, one to complete them. But this looks fun. I can't wait to try this. I can't wait to play the whole thing. Next up we have Siren Blood Curse. I actually got this like last Halloween, I think, and I played a bit of this. I remember watching Dan's Gaming stream this, and this is a very scary game. I think this is the 4th game in the Forbidden Siren series, or the 3rd game. And if you haven't tried this, this has sort of like Silent Hill vibes to it. I don't really know the story at all, but from what I remember, you can like hide in closets and hide in different places. And this is actually a quite expensive game. I can't remember how much I paid for this, but this one does go up in price, just like all the Forbidden Siren games. Here we have Time Crisis 4, which is quite an old game now. They haven't made a new Time Crisis in decades, and this came out in 2008, I believe, and it supported the sort of SMG style G-Con, which is called the G-Con 3. So without that, it's not gonna play as well with the controller, but still I wanted to add a Time Crisis game into my collection. I have more fond memories of number 1 and 2. Don't really remember playing this one in the arcades. Maybe I did, but yeah. Next we have Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2, which was actually given to me by my partner, and I had loose copies of 1 and 2, just the discs. I didn't have the actual physical releases. Thought this was a good add-on to my PS3 collection. This is going to be the last PS3 game, and that is Silent Hill Homecoming. Picked this up because this was like £28, and just like all the other Silent Hill games, they do increase in price. This isn't one of the good Silent Hill games. This is made by third-party company or third-party developers and published by Konami. But you know, part of the Silent Hill collection, why not? Right, moving on to PS2 games. Seeing as we're on the Silent Hill topic, I picked up Silent Hill 3, and I got this a while ago actually, and this was, I don't know if I've got the receipt here. So this was £25, like just over a year ago. It sells around £50, complete with the manual and stuff, in good condition, which is crazy. I knew this was going to go up in price. I didn't think this would jump double the amount that I paid for in a year's time. I haven't played much of this one. I do plan to try and go through all the Silent Hills eventually. Next we have Assault Suits Valken. And this is a rare PS2 game, which for a mint copy this goes for around £75. Quite an expensive one for the collection. This is actually, I think, a port of an older game. The graphics aren't great for the PS2. It's like a 2D shooter, side-scrolling shooter, which I've never played before. I think this was originally a SNES game ported on the PS2. I'm guessing they didn't make many copies of these, which is why this is so expensive. Next up we have a couple of PS1 games, all in very good nick. Darkstalkers, the original, the first one, the Night Warriors, one of my favourite gothic style beat 'em ups by Capcom, which is a shame they've never revived this series. But yeah, here's the manual, and that pretty good nick. And the manual is very heavy. Obviously there will be in different languages. Next we have Rival Schools on the PS1. This is the first one, and this goes for quite a lot. I think this goes for around £60 to £70. This one goes for around 80, I believe, in pretty much near mint condition. Another one of my favourite beat 'em ups or fighters for a Capcom one, and I used to play this a lot as a kid. I think I played number 2 more than I did with number 1. I really wish they revived this series because it's been so long since they've touched a Rival School, a franchise IP, and if you haven't tried this before, then give this a shot. Next game is another Capcom game. It's X-Men. The first X-Men fighting game, Children of the Atom. This is expensive as well. This goes for £75 with the manual. There's the game. Obviously not as good as Marvel vs. Capcom, but this is basically the premise. Street Fighter vs. X-Men came out after. Next we have not a Capcom game this time. This is Wu-Tang Taste the Pain. And this is basically Thrill Kill, but with members of Wu-Tang. And isn't as gory as Thrill Kill. I don't think that got a official release. £15 I think I paid for this. I've always wanted to grab this, and I finally have this now, which is cool. Last one I think is Final Fight for the GBA, and this is boxed with the manual. This is one that I accidentally won on an auction. I didn't think I'd win it for the price I did, and I won this for like £15–16. It definitely goes for more than that. This is basically a port from the SNES version, slightly enhanced I believe. I do like Final Fight, I like the characters. I've yet to try the GBA port of this though. There's the box art, pretty cool. The last thing is Way of Samurai 3. I picked this up quite some time ago. I think this is made by the same people who did Tenchu, I could be wrong. But this is kind of like a Yakuza game. So there's that one. This video's gone on for quite some time now. I'm just gonna skim through some of these Blu-rays that I got. This is the 4K version of Menace to Society, one of my favourite hood movies. If you haven't watched this, I definitely recommend checking this out. One of my favourite soundtracks as well. I'm a big fan of the Hugh Brothers films, Dead Presidents being my probably my favourite, or second favourite from Menace to Society. It's a shame they don't really make any movies anymore. This one was a birthday, Christmas gift. It's a Sonny Chiba film from the 60s, I think, from the 70s. This one is all in Japanese. What is this called? This is called The Return of the Street Fighter. I actually haven't seen this before. Sonny Chiba is cool. Next up is Ricky O, or The Story of Ricky. And this is a very gory, old Hong Kong film, which is based off a Japanese manga. This is one to watch for a martial art, gory type of film. Next up we have The Master. This is a Jet Li film. I haven't actually seen this one before. It has Yuen Wah as well. He's also a big name. Last film I saw him in was the Shang-Chi film he was in. Looks like it's set in the 70s or maybe earlier. And we have Street Fighter Alpha, which I actually had this before a long time ago, and now I've got another copy. This is one of my favourite animated Street Fighter movies out there. If you haven't watched it and a big Street Fighter fan, go with Alpha. And last but not least, we have Jackie Chan's The Myth, which I've not seen before. Looks like later on in his career that he made this, mid-2000s. So that's pretty much it for this video. This is everything that I've collected over several months to a year. I'll try and keep on top of this, give you an update of what I've found, what's added to the collection, but I tend not to collect as much as I used to, which is why I kind of stopped doing pickup videos. So if you enjoyed this video, then please like and comment if you want to about some of the games or stuff that I picked up, then please do. I will reply to pretty much everyone. That's pretty much it, yeah. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on another pickups video.